Hey folks, it's Lee aka Outpost 51 and I'm here with a long overdue vlog update from my channel. I'm currently out on my daily walk on a local mountainside just to de-stress a bit, just to get some fresh air. It's been a very trying week. I think lockdown has hit me hard this week, lockdown fever as I call it. I just needed to get out and find some open space. So I thought while I was out I would do this little vlog video because it is tough for everybody, and hopefully you're all keeping safe and doing things to keep your mind occupied, whatever that may be. So basically this video is going to be chatting about why I haven't uploaded much to this channel in quite a long time. And that's been because it's a variety of factors. Initially it was set up as a follow-on from Mikely Productions way back 8-9 years ago now. And initially there were quite a lot of short films being put up, but circumstances change in people's lives and we all grew up a bit and people started settling down, getting married, having kids, and obviously it makes it very difficult for getting everybody into the same place at the same time. So that's put pay to most things on that regard. I mean, we still meet up now and again for coffees and that, but obviously that's hampered due to lockdown, but we are keeping in touch via social media and whatever, so yeah, it's all good. The last short film project that will probably never be released, sad to say, is a project called Crossfire, and that was filmed, wow, six to five, yeah, mostly 6 years ago, and it was a big project, and it's in limbo because I think I took on too much, being truthful about it, because I took on, it was a big project and I was going to be sole editor, sole VFX artist and all that, and it was a nightmare, and the effects are a nightmare to do. So that's currently, I still have all the project files, all the footage is there, the script is still there. One day I may revisit it, but I think at this point in time it's better off consigned to the vault. From there I moved on to doing vlogs, and then in 2016 then met up with Jordan and Kurt on a ghost hunt. And then obviously then that's taken up a lot of my time doing videos and investigations for Forsaken Paranormal. That takes a lot of time doing the evidence review and putting the episode together, doing the title sequences and all that kind of thing. And it's a very time consuming process. And also doing the urbex vlogs, which I loved. I love doing urbex. Basically, if you don't know, it's like visiting abandoned buildings in a bad state of disrepair and that, shortly before they're due to be knocked down, or they're just left in the woods for that nobody knows they're there, and just getting out and doing the photography side especially, that was good. And for a while that's all I focused on, was doing photography, because it's easy. You just point and click, put it in I know photographer friends are going to say, no, it's not just point and click, there's more to it than that, but you know what I mean. It's an easier process in filmmaking. I just take a picture, several photos, choose the best one, tart it up a bit in Photoshop, upload it to Flickr or Instagram these days, and that's it, job done. Whereas filming, you could be there for hours thinking, oh, I don't like that frame, I'll cut that frame out, or this frame, this section of footage, or the audio is crap at that, we've got to redo the audio. So yeah, I did that for a while, but the urbex vlogs, you've noticed, I've dried up as well, and that's because, again, due to lockdown, I haven't been able to get out, but also I found now that there's not a lot of places that are still available, or they're places that I've already done, and I'm not one of these people who like go back and revisiting things. I mean, Denby, that was special. I did that a couple of times and I enjoyed that immensely, but the hobby, as loads of other people have said, it's been ruined somewhat by the fame hunters. Basically, they go to locations, take all their pictures, and then they sell their story to Wales Online or the national newspapers. It makes the news, and before you know it, the places are sealed up, or everybody's been there and it's been trashed. Druggies get in there, and it just ruins it. But I could spend a whole video going on about that and why the urbex community now, I think, is a bit toxic. And hopefully in a few years' time, people will get bored of it, move on to other things, and then people like me will get back into it. Hope you can hear me, folks. It's Muppets on motorbikes down in the valley below, so hopefully you can hear me okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. That's why I'm really done a lot of short films and that, and things like Collector Talk are dried up because my full-time job is computer based, and at the end of a long day, the last thing I want to be doing is sat in front of another computer editing video for hours on end. You know, I like to have a life outside of that. So yeah, who knows what the direction of this channel really. It'll just be vlogs now and again as I do them, I suppose. If I get back into doing short films, if I can get a group of people who want to do them with me, yeah, I'm open to doing that. So watch your space, I suppose. Doing a lockdown, let's move on to that. For the lockdown, how I've been keeping busy. Well, I've been working from home now for coming up 2 months, and it has presented its own set of challenges, but I'm keeping to a routine with that. I think it's important that you do that as well. So if you were working and you're sadly furloughed at the moment, try getting up at the same times and filling your days in whatever way you can, be it reading or taking up a hobby that you never thought you could do before, get around to doing some DIY, or do what I do and just go out for some local walks. You know, it'd be amazing if it's just for half an hour, just to clear your head and get your exercise in. And then mentally as well, because being out in the forest, it does clear your head a bit. You know, and if you're having a rough time, reach out and speak to somebody over social media, or phone somebody on your, text them, whatever. There's lots of ways to keep in touch with people these days, and thankfully I've got quite a good group of friends in that, and we've been in touch whatever via Facebook or WhatsApp or instant messenger, all that kind of thing. Yeah, so just basically just dealing with it the best way you can, and it will pass. And it's difficult for everybody, so you're not on your own, remember that. So alright, that ends it for me, because I realise I'm rambling a bit. I'm going to go home now and chill for the rest of the day, and I'll probably involve video gaming, which I've been doing quite a lot, just to pass the time, the free time, or drinking alcohol. It's not good, it's not good. Anyway guys, stay safe and probably see you soon. Thanks for watching.